Yes, hello. My name is Maria, and as you said, I'm a PhD student from NTNU in Norway, and I'm part of the project Task Force Salmon Lice. And here are some of the partners of the project, so just a quick introduction of them, and thank you. And here's the title for what I'm supposed to talk about today, and that's sea lice, Lepeophtheirus salmonis, and Caligus elongatus during freshwater treatment. So delousing by the use of freshwater. And this is done in collaboration with Maria Gåsø, that did her master thesis on this. So what we wanted to do was to investigate the development of sea lice on the salmon over the course of freshwater treatment. And these are some key points that I want you to, or that I want to highlight during my presentation. So the first one is high reduction for all stages and some variation between stages. Almost no Caligus elongatus after first count in well, and little change after 5 hours. So now this doesn't make that much sense to you probably, but hopefully it will make more sense at the end of my presentation. So just an introduction to freshwater and the use of freshwater as a delousing method. Highlighted in red here is the use of freshwater as a delousing method from 2012 to 2021, and you can see that there is an increase of the use of this method, and also that freshwater has been started to be used in combination with thermal and also mechanical delousing. And the numbers here are in weeks, and it's from the fish health veterinary's fish health report from 2021, these numbers. So I don't know how well known this method is for the people in the audience, so I will just try to explain how it works. First, or I will try to explain how the freshwater treatment, it's several ways you can delouse with freshwater, but I will try to explain the method that has been used in this field work. So first, the salmon have to be crowded here inside the net pen to be able to pump the fish and load the fish on board the boat. Then the fish go over a dewatering unit to get rid of the salt water, and then they are loaded into 2 wells on board the boat. And they are held there for approximately 10 hours, and then they are being unloaded again into the net pens. For this field work, it was done in production area 6 and marked with a star on the map. And there are sampling, we sampled from 3 locations and total of 5 freshwater treatments. Okay, there. We have counted the numbers of parasitic sea lice for L. salmonis and C. elongatus. For C. elongatus, we counted all the stages as one. And for the L. salmonis, we counted attached or sessile and pre-adult, and adult female and adult male. And for the adult female, we also registered if they had egg strings or not. This is to illustrate how we did the sampling. So here you have the timeline for the treatment, and here are they started to load the fish, and then we started to counting during the loading. And then the first count in both well for the port well and the starboard well, and also the second counting for the both wells, and a third counting in both wells. And then at the end of the treatment, we counted during the unloading. And we counted 20 fish for each sampling point. Here are some of the measurements done by the boat. So we have the fish density and the temperature of the water, treatment water, and the salinity and the oxygen, and also the seawater temperature. So, for example, for the first treatment, there were about 3 degrees difference between the treatment water temperature and the temperature of the seawater. Okay, yeah. So here I'm going to show you some results from one of the treatment. Do you see there's a gray area here? And that's to illustrate the loading time. And you don't see it that well, but there's also a green area here to illustrate the unloading time of the fish. And there's the mean lice per fish here and the treatment time here. The dotted line are to illustrate that there's some time between the first counting of the fish during the loading time and to the first counting in the well. So as I tried to explain on the previous slide, the fish will, when they crowd the fish and also when they pump the fish, and there will be some maybe some mechanical delousing where the fish loses some of the lice during this time. And there are a lot of information here that we haven't been able to see. And you can see here that there's a rapid decrease of the C. elongatus here, and almost no C. elongatus in the first count in the well. And you can also see there's a rapid decrease for the pre-adult and also for the attached. Okay. Okay. So here is the same, almost the same figure, but just the other was for the port well, and this is for the starboard well. So here you can see that we're losing one sampling point, and that's due to the time limit for the sampling. But you will see the same trend here as well. There's a rapid decrease, and especially for the C. elongatus here, in the first counting in the freshwater well. As I said, we sampled from 5 different treatments in both the wells of the freshwater treatment. So this is just to illustrate that we found the same picture or trend for all the treatments. So this is not for you to get that much information from. I just wanted to show that we found the same trend in all the freshwater delousing. And for all the 5 treatments, we found that there were almost no change in the lice numbers after approximately 5 hours of the fish, when the fish was held in the freshwater. I put a link to Maria Gåse's master if anyone are interested to see more, want to dig a little bit more into these graphs. So I guess this will be distributed, and you can, if you want to check out a little bit more. Here you see the mean treatment effect, and this is for all 5 sampling point, all 5 treatments, and both wells. So you can see here that, as I said, C. elongatus have a rapid, they disappear quickly in the first counting in the well, but there's some variation between stages for Lepeophtheirus salmonis, and yeah. So now back to the first slide, and what we wanted to do was to investigate the development of sea lice on the salmon over the course of freshwater treatment. So we saw a high reduction for all stages for L. salmonis, but some variation between stages. And we saw almost no Caligus elongatus after the first count in the wells, the freshwater wells. And we saw little change after 5 hours. So this is the project group of Task Force Salmon Lice. So just want to say thank you to them, and also big thanks to Maria Gåse that did her master thesis. Yes.